Hey dudes, I'm going to talk about classical vibrato, or if you're American, vibrato or vibrato. I probably pronounce it funny, but it's the way I know how to say it, vibrato. So pronounce it however you want, vibrato or vibrato, doesn't matter. Anyway, classical style, what do I mean by that? I mean this type of thing. As you can tell, I'm not doing that normal up and down thing. This goes side by side. So how do I get this? Basically, you can use any one of your fingers. I recommend using your second, your third or your fourth finger, because it's not really that effective with your first finger. Have a look. You can't really do much with that, so it only really works with your second or your third or your fourth finger. Okay, so let's use one. Let's just pick this note. How do I get this? It's a combination, again, if you've watched my other vibrato video, I say that it's not just about the fingers, it's a combination of the strength of your fingers, your hand and your arm. Okay, so it's like that motion, so your hand will be like that. And imagine that you've got to push back through your fretboard. You're almost trying to push backwards, almost through you, or through your guitar neck. It takes quite a lot of pressure as well. A lot of people try this technique and they say, hey Ben, I can't get this to work. And I said, you'll be surprised how much pressure you need to get that vibrato sound going. You can really feel it in your arm, in your biceps as well. You know, it is quite a physical technique to get that sound. Why is this technique useful? It's especially useful on the high E string, because you can't really do a lot when it comes to vibrato. You can only sort of go upwards, because obviously you run out of fretboard. You can't do anything down that way, so it's hard to get a wide vibrato. This is really good for getting a nice effective vibrato sound. Especially on these high notes up here. You know, and it's just a different sound as well. It's a completely different sound. So it's a very useful thing to do for that reason. The other reason it's so useful is because it's a lot easier to get a subtle sound. So if you're doing like a slow rock ballad or something like that, and you want it to be a little more subtle, then it's a bit hard to get a subtle approach when you sort of with the traditional vibrato. So here you might want to go like. So there, you can get it really nice and gentle, but again, you can also get it nice and aggressive as well. You know? Again, it all comes down to how much strength you want to put through it, through your fingers and stuff like that. Yeah, so yeah, it's a combination of your fingers and your hand and your arm and everything like that, and it sort of goes side to side. So just try it, you know, first try and direct it that way, and then that way, and then that way. Left and right, there's no real rule to it. As I said earlier, this is a very effective technique for the high E string and the B string, and the G as well. When you start moving down to this end, it becomes less effective, and you might want to just stick to your regular up and down, regular vibrato, you know, rather than sort of employing this technique. It's just very useful for when you sort of go up towards this side of the neck and on the higher strings, so check it out. It's a different alternative to the regular rock, typical vibrato that you're used to. So yeah, have fun with that, and I'll see you next time. Remember, the only opponent is within.